Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, I like it like this. I like when the crooks are coming straight in your face and tell you, I am a crook, and that's it. You can't change that, and you know what? I'm in charge of you. Instead of saying, well, I'm not a crook, actually, I'm a good person, and you have to say loudly that I'm a good person, and actually, I'm a crook. So, Argentina's Milei, remember, he won the elections in Argentina. And I said he is the guy of the Americans. And here he just shows us he is. Why? He goes to bend the knee to Washington, D.C. Argentina's Milei heads to U.S. Before even he gets elected. I like that. In front of everybody, he tells us who his master is. Good, you Argentinians, my friends, maybe you're gonna eat a little bit better, but definitely you're not gonna be free. And you're gonna be the batch of Al Capone. And by the way, those islands that Milei said that he's gonna take, or island, from Great Britain, he's not gonna. He's not gonna because he's their boy. My friends, so easy. Here, two articles. Bloomberg, today, November 26, 2023, Sunday. Argentina's Milei heads to US, invites Lula to inauguration. Lula said he's not going to go. Why? Because Mr. Milei said that Lula is a communist and he has never heard of a good communist or something like that. So, from the very beginning, no. Well, Lula is not going to. He just wished him good luck and something I don't know, not very, good luck, man, and something like this. Success. So he goes to the US. He goes to bend the knee. Now let me tell you a little. Actually, let me read maybe a paragraph or two. Argentina's president-elect. I'm going to tell you a story how it used to be in the medieval times in the world. How the vassal used to go to the head office, be it Rome or be it Berlin or Paris or London or wherever, or Istanbul, and bend the knee and pay respect to the boss. That's how it was, and he would get the right to oppress his people. That's how it was. I will tell you the story, but let me read an article, just one or two um, paragraphs here. Argentina's president-elect Javier Milei heads to the U.S. on Sunday night while his incoming foreign minister traveled to Brazil to invite President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva to the December 10th inauguration. Now that's nice. I think Lula could go over there if this guy minds his mouth, not insult the communist. Why? Well, it's not necessary. And maybe they can cooperate, but I don't think so. I think they just want to humiliate Lula. And I can believe I'm actually inclined to be more or be nicer to Lula than to Milei, even though the guy is a communist. But Lula so far showed brain and impartiality as a communist, as I think he is. And Milei as also. Milei's delegation will meet with officials from the U.S. Treasury, money, which is Miss Yellen, Zelensky-Stein, in charge of our money, Treasury. Good job, America. Good job. The White House goes to the White House and the International Monetary Fund in Washington. Money. Is going to destroy the BRICS and everything, the organization, according to a text message from a Milei spokesperson. The purpose of the meeting is to, don't read it over there, bend the knee, suck the thing, and go back home with his payment. The purpose of the meeting is to explain the incoming administration's economic plan, including the fiscal adjustment. He already would know it. One, U.S. Treasury, and the other one is International Monetary Fund. That's the monetary plan. You already know it. That's why he goes over there. He goes over there, bends over, takes a dip, comes home with a payment, as I said, for himself, not for the Messi or Argentinian football team. They got money anyway, so it's good. All right, he says here the purpose of plan, including the fiscal adjustment, monetary reform, state reform, and deregulation. Okay, that's good. The regulation, I like deregulation, unless there's no corruption and all the Argentinian Argentina's most important industry or businesses or economy will be passed into the hands of the big guys that are in charge of this world, and they were kicked out by the other group. The delegation is not seeking financing on this trip. The next one, according to a spokesperson. All right, and then he says the president-elect suspended the trip as of Thursday, according to a campaign spokesperson, after saying he planned a spiritual trip to the US before the inauguration. On Sunday, Milei envoy Diana Mondino visited Brazil to Brazil to invite Lula to next month's inaugurations in Buenos Aires. We'll find out. All right, so it says the main message is that we are brotherly countries. No, you're not. One is from Spain, the other one is from Portugal. Not really brotherly. If you look at history, they were quite enemies. This guy's brotherly. Yeah, you can say brotherly because if you want to go like that, you Adam and Eve, yeah, you're brotherly, right? Or what? Latin countries? During the history, these guys were most of the time were at each other's throat, competing in looting. Civilizing other people. We have to work hard together to make both countries grow. That's true, but that's not only the same thing. You want to be a well-fed guy in a cage, or you want to be a person who's not that well-fed but free? I choose the second. And you don't have in between. If you think, I mean, that's not the only, yeah, there's no other. That's it. You either go and you're this guy's is or you're a little bit poorer like Cuba, but free. Obviously, we want to have freedom and wealth, which they think we have it here. Yeah, just do something these guys don't like, and see how your rights, temporary privileges, are just cut. All right, so let's go to the other article, which is kind of the same thing as the first one. Is Argentina's Milei plans spiritual trip to US and Israel before taking office. So while he's at the spiritual trip, he's going to meet the same people. Milei is going to meet the same people in America and in Israel, because he's going to go in the what? US Treasury, Yellen, International Monetary Fund, Yellen. I mean, you know what I mean. In the White House, he's going to meet whomever is behind that idiot, because he's not dealing with that idiot, obviously. No, let me tell you how it used to be. And I'm going to give you a historical narrative here. It's not going to be from my back pocket. When the Ottomans, the Turks, they did not necessarily rule countries. They rule countries by appointing people of, like, for instance, in Romania, Romanians in charge. The Romanians were fighting among themselves, and they would just go to Istanbul, to the Sultan, and vow that's gonna suck there, and sometimes, or most of the time, leave their families to Istanbul, and they would go back as vassal states to the Ottoman Empire. And he would follow orders because his family was in Istanbul, and if he did something wrong, those were dead. Okay, that means his next generation would not be kings or in charge. They would destroy your lineage or line. So that's what they do. They went over there, they bend the knee, and then they would get the, okay, you're the guy. And they were competing with one another to get the, how to call the Sultan's favors. They get in their favors. That's how it was. And that's right now the same way. It's a little bit more civilized. Let's put it this way. So this guy goes over there straight after he won the elections. Well, it's obvious what's going on, and you are going to have big problems over there in South America. You are going to have big problems. Now, I don't live over there. I don't know the details. I don't have a day-to-day, life. It's one thing when you go and travel. The other one is when you spend a month or two, and the other one is to live there years. You kind of, if you're not an idiot, you understand what's going on, and you can comment and say, "Hey, I want Milei. No, I want the other one. I want the other one." but it's always according to your understanding of the world and what you particularly subjectively want from life. There are some people very content with watching TV every day, going to sleep, taking a nap in the afternoon, in the morning waking up, work for someone else, be paid how much that someone else gives them, and then after they are done working, they just consume something if they have, more or less, and that is their life. And they're content. Now imagine which one they would like. They would like a communist who might offer them that, even a certain job, because remember, the communists ensure full employment. Now, inefficient employment, but full employment. The capitalists, on the other hand, they always keep a little 6% at the most in a society that they can use to have them fight for the jobs they offer. I mean, there is jobs for everyone, but somehow we always have about 6% in society, which you have a labor force that's always unemployed. The employers rarely will run out of, oh my God, I don't know who I need a truck driver. I don't find any truck drivers, and they're all competing for the truck driver available. Who's going to be a millionaire if he's going to be the only one available? No, they're going to have thousands of truck drivers. That's why they're going to compete for the lowest. I want a job, I want a job, I want a job. Instead of saying, no, I want the job, I want the money. No, they want to be paid the lowest. So which one you want? In between, lucky you. So in this case, you're going to have Milei. So he's going to be good for some and bad for others. The same as the other guys before him. They were good for some and bad for others. The problem is, try to be not bad for others. Be good for some, or very good for some, be good for some, and average for the rest. But not bad. Bad you will be, because you're going to always have a crime. And people who don't want to work, people who want to steal, people who are just like that. And that obviously a person who wants to implement, justice and have an organized and disciplined society will always have people that would, you always will have people that don't like you. You should learn that when you're like 13 or something. You can't satisfy, you can't, be friends with everybody. You can't, if you don't have enemies, that means you're not doing things right. That means you don't stand for anything. Because when you stand for something, you're going to have enemies immediately. That tells me that, at least you have, and then I ask you, okay, why do you stand for that? And you have a clear explanation why you support that idea. That's fantastic. I might not support that one, but I admire your determination. At least, remember, not necessarily people smart people succeed, but people with determination and not that smart. Example, look at Biden. He's one of them. All right. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.